How's it going, everybody? The usual clan is here, Travis,
Mike.
And Nick,
and
yes, we did it.
Boom.
I was
Go.
panicking because I forgot which one was first in the alphabet, M or N.
well, I know because
I
I'm
panicked
always the
about
one
that
who
too.
finishes it, but now I'm starting shit because I'm a bit of a fighter now. Anyway, today we are going to be discussing the best formula that Call of Duty is able to use, and why we think that certain formulas worked better than others. So who wants to start us off?
I would actually like to because I actually do have
Ooh.
something to say just for a little bit to begin with.
I was not ready
And
for this.
I know that was actually
I know,
perfect.
right? This is a huge shock. But as a lot of people know who are veterans of this channel, I'm not really one for first-person shooter games. And even though it's like that, I have played a couple of them. But at least from what I've seen, I mean, I'm not blind to the whole genre. But as I saw the actual games progressing in order, I know Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 were like huge games, and I knew it started like detracting after a while. But the formula that I was always used to was that there was a separation between Call of Duty and Halo, but it seems like as time progressed, the distinction kind of got blurred a bit. And in my mind, I was always more a fan of the Modern Warfare thing because I did play on Nuketown, and even though I might have went like 1 in 23 in my kill to death ratio, it was still it was still fun. It was still fun, but I always thought that when you try to innovate too much and branch away from that original formula, it's kind of hard to go back there. But I always thought that the Modern Warfare was the way that Call of Duty was done, and people almost universally agreed upon about how awesome it was. But now that's up to your guys' discussion because you guys have played more of those games.
Mhm.
Which one do you guys prefer?
Well, here's the thing about Call of Duty is like Modern Warfare is kind of like Resident Evil 4 in the sense that it isn't really the Call of Duty formula because it's actually a lot different from like the original Call of Duties, but it was the one that everybody loved because I think Travis already said Call of Duty Modern Warfare is his favorite one, right?
Yeah, Call of Duty 4
Yeah.
is my boy.
And yet the thing about it is like that one's different because that's Modern Warfare, whereas the ones all before it were like not classic warfare, but like World War II type stuff. And so Modern Warfare was their first kind of branch away. And so a part of me almost wondered that like I feel like they saw that, oh, people are really interested in like Modern Warfare stuff. And then when Modern Warfare 2 came out, everyone loved that game. And I wonder if they got it in their heads like, oh, people are much more interested in Modern Warfare than they are like games centered on World War II and stuff. And I think maybe that's where Ghost came from and Advanced Warfare came from and stuff. And I think they're right to a certain extent because I think the Modern Warfare setting is good. And it's not like the guns and weapons and setting that I have a problem with. And I know you're going to agree with me. The problem is when they started adding all the exosuit stuff. It changed warfare, not just like weaponry wise, but it changed it in terms of like your ability to jump. And like the thing I always go back to that I hated was like the grenades. I forgot what they were called. I think they were just called homing grenades or something that you throw in the air and it locks onto an enemy and flies to them.
That's
And
disgusting.
I'm like, this isn't
What?
warfare.
That's a thing?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was an Advanced Warfare. Or Infinite
I know for
Warfare.
sure it was
one of
for
them.
sure Infinite.
Yeah.
I don't know about Advanced, but I know it was Infinite Warfare.
I-
But it's just the things like that I didn't like.
Yeah, it seems like, okay, from what I've seen, it seemed like Call of Duty was very focused on, like, again, realistic, or at least realistic, or before, like, I guess, pre-realistic, or modern warfare. And so when I see stuff like that, I'm like, that's more futuristic stuff, and I feel like that's more Halo's specialty, right? I don't know. I didn't know about that grenade crap, or homing grenade
yeah, no,
crap.
there's some bullshit things in the Infinite and Advanced Warfares that I know I've said my complaints about jetpacking over buildings and wall running and all that garbage.
Right. Well, that's the thing about it is like Modern Warfare was futuristic stuff too, but it didn't have all that stuff, you know?
Right.
I think like you can draw the line.
Yeah, because I think, because like all the ones before Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, those were all previous wars, and then World at War came out in between 4 and Modern Warfare 2. But at least those two games specifically weren't like super advanced warfare. It was like still things that actually exist, so you're like, okay, I understand like the concept of Juggernaut is just he has more armor, but like if you still shoot him in the face, he's gonna die.
Right.
Whereas the next ones, it's like, oh, I all of a sudden am like invincible in certain points, and then I also have a button that will automatically kill at least one person, if not more, if they're grouped together, aka
Right.
homie grenade. So it was just like it lost its like I never had a sense of like achievement when I got a kill, and then I just always found myself being more like spawn camped because there were just so many ways of like you getting shot down without you knowing where the actual enemy was.
Right. Well, you kind of mentioned it in like one of our earlier podcasts too. Like in Black Ops 3, when you have like players running on the roof or against the walls and stuff, and it's like, this is not really what warfare is like.
No.
At least not Call of Duty warfare. When you think Call of Duty, you think of like finding good locations on a map, and you know, I don't like campers, but it's a strategy you can do. You find sniping locations, flank locations, stuff like that.
And then plus, like, those camping positions are always more predictable, so people like me who likes to just go guns a-blazing, like, I know ways around the camp areas to then kill the campers.
Right.
And now it's just like, there's so many different ways to, like, get to that same camp point that it's like, it's useless.
Right. Well, because I always imagined, like, when I play Call of Duty, I feel like I play it the same way that I want to play games like paintball in real life, you know? Like, you find a spot and stuff, and it's like, well, when I'm paintballing, I can't run along the wall and fly in the air and throw homing grenades. So I don't know if I want that in my Call of Duty game. And I know that's kind of a weird comparison, but that is kind of how I feel.
Exactly.
I like the classic style. And that's, you know, I think we're going to get into it a bit more, obviously, because the reason we made this is pretty much because Call of Duty World War II came out about 2 months ago. And that game, I think, did a great job of, like, modernizing World War II, if that makes sense. Because it's a very cinematic game. The controls in the game are extremely smooth, but it feels like World War II. So it doesn't feel like they're holding anything back. It still feels like a good modern game that's based on an old war style. And I think that's great.
Yeah, definitely. Because, like you were saying, it was very smooth playing, and then, like, they still did different things in the campaign that I don't think they did in previous ones. Like, I know the health pack thing, that was definitely new, and I really liked that. And then having, like, your commanding officer, like, give you a special perk, like, I know the ammo guy was my best friend ever, because I would just spray down a whole bunch of things and be like, hey, bro, help me out again.
Him and the health kit guy. I was on the health kit guy constantly.
Exactly. But, like, I liked that idea because it didn't give you a sense of, like, you're completely helpless. Like, I actually thought that your own computer AIs were worth a damn. Unlike any other Call of Duty, where I'm like, honestly, if I kill all of my teammates, I don't even care. Because they're more in the way than anything else anyway. Except for Gaz in Call of Duty 4. Rest in peace.
Oh. Aw. Well, but not only that, but the other thing about the campaign is this is a campaign that I actually enjoyed playing. I feel like the other ones were either too cinematic, and they also felt like they were too rushed. Like Infinite Warfare, I feel like really tried to push that we have this amazing campaign. We have Jon Snow in space. I feel like that was like their big selling point.
Oh, that was definitely their big selling point. And then was it Advanced Warfare had Kevin Spacey, right?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, so I mean, like, they still used actors. Like, I recognized the one commanding officer was the dude from Transformers.
Yeah.
So
well, but that's the thing for me though, is like those games didn't really have a story. It was kind of like, oh, we're going to war with these people, let's go kill them. But I liked this one because it was more focused on like the characters, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like you kind of see the struggle. Like I feel like I could see what it's like to be in this war. You know, you see what they go through every day. You know, you see someone get shot on the field, and then you see them dragged into like a medic place where then they have to get like morphine injections and they get worked on. We talked about like the spy mission with the passports. Like you kind of get a better idea of what the war is actually like instead of we're going to go here and shoot a bunch of people. You know, it felt like this campaign was so much more, and it was still a short campaign, and I think there's still a lot of areas they can improve on it. I know Call of Duty is mostly about the multiplayer anyway,
right?
But I like that they kind of went back and really tried to make this campaign something a little bit more than the last couple were. Because Infinite Warfare's wasn't horrible. I just feel like it was super rushed. Advanced Warfare's I thought was terrible though. I did not like that one at all.
Like I said, like I stopped playing at like Black Ops. I might own Black Ops 2. I don't even know if I own that one, to be honest.
That was the iffy one.
Yeah.
Black Ops 3 was awful.
Yeah, Black Ops 3 I played a couple times. I hated it. Advanced Warfare I played a couple times. Hated it. So it's definitely like, I'm so happy that, because like I played World War II with CJ and beat it in one sitting because I just wanted to keep playing it.
Right. Well, because that's the thing is like it keeps you interested in it,
Mhm.
you know, like, well, and not only that, but it also wasn't repetitive. We've said it a few times, this thing already, but there's a variety. You go from a stealth mission to like like a flank mission to like a mission where you're in charge. You have missions where you're in tanks and driving cars and stuff like that. Whereas Infinite Warfare's campaign was the same thing over and over. You start out in a spaceship, you shoot down a couple of enemies like it's Star Fox or Star Wars or something. Then you land and you kill a bunch of people. And it was just the same thing over and over. There was never really any stealth missions. I think they had like sequences where there was like 5 minutes of you trying to sneak around and not get caught. But that was really it. You know, it was just they did the same thing over and over. And I feel like with this new game, they really added a lot more variety, which I like, which I think is why it keeps people invested in it. And the last time I really felt like I played a Call of Duty that had that variety was probably Modern Warfare 2. Black Ops had it a little bit. I didn't hate Black Ops. I don't know how you feel about Black Ops.
Black Ops was like probably the last one I actually like still played a lot. And then after that is when it really went downhill for me personally.
Right. Well, because I think you and me are the same, or we both, you know, we play the multiplayer, but I think you and me both really like the campaigns.
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
I love Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2. I really liked the ending. Just pulling out a knife out of your chest and chucking it at them is awesome.
All the Modern Warfare games had pretty good endings. I thought Modern Warfare 2 had a good ending too.
Yeah.
Infinite Warfare didn't. Advanced Warfare didn't. I think that's kind of the premise of the video, I think, is, you know, and that's the message that I want to send home is I don't care what the setting is. You know, I'm glad they went to World War II, but I don't care. If they want to do like a future setting, it doesn't bother me. And honestly, Call of Duty in space, I feel like that can be worked in a way where it can feel right if that's something they really wanted to do. It's adding all that extra stuff. I want it to feel like war. I want to like understand the characters, because Infinite Warfare did something that I thought was horrible that I've been wanting to talk about somewhere, and I guess this is the perfect place, where you have these characters that you don't really get to know. I don't remember any of their names, but then in the ending credits, it shows all the characters that died, and it shows like messages from their family, and it's like how their families are like mourning their death and stuff like that. And I kind of realized this is the first time I've connected with the characters is in the credits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, something about that is wrong. Like, I feel like I should have had, like, I can't feel sad. You know, it's sad hearing families say, oh, I miss, you know, my partner, they died in war. Or like it's a mother talking about her dead son. But it's like, why didn't they do that during the game? You know? So to me, it's not the setting. It's not the fact that it was in space that really turned me off. It's the fact that I feel like they were so focused on like advanced futuristic military warfare that they totally threw the story aside for like cheesy gameplay mechanics.
So wait a sec. So they ignored almost all of the actual character exposition and wanted you to try to focus on all of the actual character, like all the character development at the end when there really wasn't any? Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was, because these characters, you see them for like 5 seconds, but then like, I'm going to spoil the game here, so warning to, I'm sure you two don't care, but for people watching the video also. But at the end of the game, everyone pretty much has to sacrifice themselves to save one person so they can, like, you know, win the war or whatever. And so this sacrifice moment where everyone's giving their life is supposed to be really touching. And I cry pretty easily, right? I get pretty emotional with games like that. But that did nothing for me because I'm like, I don't know who these characters are. So the whole game, they do nothing to like get you to connect with the characters, but then they expect you to be sad about it at the end. I'm like, that's not how that works.
Yeah, no, with like I guess with a really great example of one game that I know does this amazingly is Undertale. They give you so much exposition, so much of learning about the characters, learning about the cheesy jokes that they like to tell, learning about their actual personalities, and they develop that through the actual, just even in simple text-based conversations that they have. And if they don't even try to do that, whether it's through, again, text or voice acting, whatever, and they try to force it upon you at the end, yeah, I think that's just bad design.
Well,
but I mean, in their way though, they are focused on the gameplay completely. So I mean, I guess it's another thing that we talked about a long time ago, which is gameplay versus story. And it seems like, at least in my experience, a lot of modern gamers are more focused on the gameplay rather than the story. So it's sad that the story suffers so much, but they do so to try to improve upon the gameplay. I guess in this case it flopped, but I mean, I'm thinking that's what their intention was.
Yeah, well, I think it's just because the original Call of Duty were so focused on like showing you what war is like. You show the struggles the characters go through, and I feel like, you know, that's the formula that I like. Like I said, the setting doesn't matter. I want that formula of like showing me the struggle of war. And I feel like Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare didn't do that. And Call of Duty World War II, I thought, did an amazing job of like showing that
Yeah,
struggle.
I mean, even at the end of the first level, when your one friend gets blown up, like,
Right.
I'm like, oh my god, is he already going to die? Like, I was actually emotionally attached to him, even though I've had like one cutscene with him in it, and then like just playing throughout the level.
Yeah, I kid you not, the first like 10 minutes in that game, that opening cutscene, had more character development than the entire game of Infinite Warfare.
Oh,
Like,
I completely believe it.
Yeah, I did feel so much more connected to those characters in World War II. And so, yeah, like that opening mission in D-Day, when you're like running off the boat and you see people getting shot, like you feel the weight of the war, you know, like you don't feel like some overpowered person. You feel like you're really like the underdog here that's just trying to barely survive. And I think that's what I really liked about this game. And so that's what I want to see in future games. You know, it doesn't matter where you are. Just give me that feeling of like I'm one person trying to like survive in a war and like fighting for a country or something, you know?
Definitely.
So yeah, so I don't know if I have too much more to say. I don't know if you have anything more that you want to say, Travis,
I think
or Nick?
we've pretty much covered all of the points that I wanted to hit with like character development and then just not being an overpowered asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I've put in my 2 cents where I can. It's just, I'm with you. If you're trying to get somebody, if you're trying to invoke a reaction from the player, you can't just try to drop it at the end and just try to say, oh, these people sacrificed their lives. No, give me some reason why I should care that they sacrificed their lives.
Right. Well, you know, and I think that's the general consensus that I think I got from us is, you know, give us that character development, give us the struggle of war. I think we didn't really mention it, but I think part of the reason it disappeared is because of the multiplayer. I think people started really only focusing on zombies and like, you know, the online multiplayer stuff and getting prestige. So nobody cared about the campaign anymore, which is kind of sad.
Zombies is such an overrated game mode.
I've never really played zombies. I never got into it.
It's like the first 5 waves are usually like a joke, and then the next 5 waves are just significantly harder, and it's just like, because you have to end up finding a good camping spot, otherwise you'll just get obliterated.
Right.
It's just, yeah. So I'm glad, even though the new zombies I actually did enjoy, because it's like a huge wide open map, so it's like I have room to just weave through things instead of camping.
Right. I haven't tried it yet. That's something that maybe I'll have to try.
Oh my god.
We'll see.
There is so many things that you have to unlock, like to progress yourself in like the level. There's like a boss thing too. It's cool.
Oh, yeah, I have heard about that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to look into that. But I think that's the consensus then, is that Call of Duty World War II was a good turning point for the Call of Duty series. And hopefully they stay on that sort of level for any future games that come out. Because I'm sure there'll be a Call of Duty next year. There always is.
Please, oh please, oh please.
We'll see.
Don't rush it. Seriously, don't rush the development of it. If you want a good product and not just a money grab like you've been known for, just don't rush it.
Call of Duty's probably already done with their next game, to be honest.
Yeah, that's pretty much how they work.
Yeah.
I think the whole rushing thing goes out the door with like Infinity Ward and Activision. They pretty much rush these games out as quickly as they can. But that's cool. Hey, if it's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But yeah, so if no one else has anything to say, we can probably call it a video.
Yep.
I'm good.
All right, so let us know what your opinions are in the comment section below. If you liked Call of Duty World War II, if you prefer Infinite Warfare, because I have a couple of friends that I know did, and that's equally valid too. Let us know in the comment section below what you think, and we'll keep an eye out.
Yep.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Message us in Discord too. Link will be in the description.
Absolutely. Adios.
Adios.
Bye, everyone.